See, are we live? I think we are. Just check here. Hello, you guys. It is Adrian, Capricorn Tigress of Astrology, a look inside. And hello, Cosmic Family, and welcome to a very special Christmas edition of Astrology, a look inside. And I am your host, Capricorn Tigress, here to give you the gift of foresight. While everyone else is talking about the new year, we're going beyond. We're mapping out the first quarter, the first crucial 90 days of 2026. Why? Because with Jupiter freshly in Gemini, Saturn still, spiraling in Pisces, and Pluto making its final momentum sweep through Aries, this isn't just any year. This is a foundation year. And we're not just looking at stars. We're crunching the numbers. And 2026 reduces down to a universal 1 year. Because 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10, which we reduce down to 1. Okay? So this is about new beginnings, about raw initiative and forging your own path. There's no more waiting. And let's not forget, both Saturn and Neptune they're retrograding out of Aries. So they're going to go back into Aries. And that is also an indication of a new beginning. So grab your eggnog, cozy up, and let's get strategic. Okay, this is your astrological and numerological game plan for January, February, and March of 2026. So before we get to the signs, let's set the stage, the key players. So there's Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius is actually it's at 2 or 3 degrees, I think. But it does indicate revolution or a collapse in networks, tech life and community. It's do or die time for your group associations. Do or die. I mean, depending on where you live, you'll understand this, but like I've heard that MAGA is falling apart, that they're, not following blindly any longer. And I never thought I would see that, especially so quickly after the last election. That really does indicate what happens after Pluto goes direct, because it's a whole different mindset. Also, Saturn in Pisces, that's disciplining your dreams. Like, in order to accomplish something, sometimes we have to have the discipline to get things done. And I think when we're dealing with Saturn in Pisces, we are dealing with having the discipline to make our dreams a reality, or they'll drown you. They'll drown you. So structure your spirituality, structure your dreams. It's not bad to have dreams. It's just you want your dreams to be realistic and you want them to have some structure. Also, Jupiter in Gemini is expansion through connection. It's expansion through communication, information, and curiosity. Your mindset is your greatest asset or liability. It's all about the mind right now. Also, Mars is retrograde in Leo. Oh, yes. From late February through March, ego, creativity, and passion projects need review, not launch. And I was born with Mars in Leo. I think I was born with Mars in Leo retrograde, which is probably why I always need to review my projects. But when it comes to Mars retrograde, especially in Leo, all of those creative projects, those ego-based projects, they really do need to take time to be reviewed. And then there is the number one energy. This is the personal year of the number one energy. This is the personal year of the CEO, the leader, the boss, the entrepreneur, the executive. You are the project, okay? Lead. Okay, whatever it is that you're doing, lead. This is the year of leadership. So let's break it down. And remember, I'm giving you the archetypal weather. So check your rising sign for the most accurate forecast. And I mean, if you say are an Aquarius, you'll want to listen to Aquarius. But if you have, say, Capricorn rising, you'll also want to listen to Capricorn. So let's start with the first sign. And the first sign is the sign of Aries. And the number one energy is your natural state, Aries. You're number one. You're the number one zodiac sign. You carry the number one energy with you naturally. So when January comes, Aries, you'll hit the ground running. With Mars in your sector of self-expression, you're a firework. But Pluto at the top of your chart is dismantling old career goals. Are you the boss or a cog in the machine? The universe is forcing the answer. In February, it brings a crucial full moon in your 11th, or in your the sign that's in your 11th, which is Aquarius. And this is because a moment of rare clarity. It'll create a moment of rare clarity. Aquarius is sextile Aries. Like, who are you now? And then there's Mars retrograde in your creative sector from late February, and that is telling you to pause and to refine and revisit a passion project, something that inspires you. Don't force a grand unveiling in March, okay? There's no need to rush into this. Strategize. And as far as numerology is concerned, your personal year is 1. And so this is about leadership for you, Aries. This is about leading with your unique identity. A bold solo move in January pays off also. So Taurus, the ruler, Venus, starts in cool Aquarius. And your 2026 theme is higher learning and perspective, Taurus. January has you in deep study, planning a major trip or dealing with legal matters. Pluto is transforming your belief system, and an old philosophy must be shed. February gets financially intense for some Tauruses, and Jupiter is in your income sector, and it can be generous, but a stellium in your secret zone reveals a power dynamic or a shared resource that needs renegotiation. If it's something you're sharing with someone else, you might want to talk it over. In March, with Mars retrograde in your home and family sector, it asks you to review a family initiative or property matter. Patience is key. Number 9 in numerology is the year that is a finale for many Tauruses. So release the past and embrace the new worldview that is forming right now. Next, let's move on to Gemini. Gemini, Jupiter is in your sign all year long, and this is your time to expand, to speak, and to be seen. But Pluto opposite you, no, Pluto is not opposite you. Pluto is in Aquarius, okay? I need to be really careful about what I'm talking about here because I don't think that this is all correct. Pluto is not opposite Gemini. Pluto will be trine most Gemini because Pluto is in Aquarius, and Aquarius trines Gemini. And so it's in the early degrees of Aquarius. So those born in the early degrees of Gemini will feel that trine to your Gemini sun. It's actually a boost, not a, a bad thing. And Jupiter is actually in the sign of Cancer. So I'm going to have to redo everything. I'm looking at this and I'm reading it and I'm thinking, oh, no. Hold on. Hold on one second, you guys. I feel bad because I'm literally live and I realized the data is, this reminds me of something I talked about the other day in one of the other videos I made. And that's that unfortunately for us astrologers, that technology and astrology isn't always good together. And that's because it doesn't seem to be able to grasp certain details, certain things that we need to plug in. Okay, because it just doesn't seem to comprehend. It'll just spit out anything. Astrology bots are the worst. Astrology AI is the worst. It's just horrible. You can't depend on it to know anything. You've got to put everything in there. It's really sad in a way, but it is where we are, sadly. And I'm trying to help this right now. Give me 1 second. Let me also put this in there. Okay, so I just put that in there. We're gonna see what it spits out. It's doing it again. What is funny is that this is why I don't like to go live. First of all, I'm very picky, and one of the things that I can't stand is when things are really off. Okay, and I was reading it and I'm thinking, wait, this doesn't feel right at all. Like it's off. And it was off. So we're going to see if it's going to be able to hold the line or if it's going to spit out more craziness. But I wanted to give you guys something with real details in it because, I usually will just come out and talk about what I feel is right. So I wanted to come out with some details, but look, some of these things, they just are not able to provide that type of service. They really just aren't. So let's go ahead and look at what I've corrected. Uh, Jupiter is in Cancer, not Gemini, and that does change everything. It is about expansion in home and family and roots and emotional security. Pluto is in Aquarius, so yeah, they got that right. It's in its early degrees, which is meaning societal revolution is just beginning to bite, not at the end of it, but at the beginning of the social revolution. And Uranus is in retrograde in Taurus, and yes, it will station direct and move back into Gemini later in 2026, but not in the first quarter. It's still shaking up, that fixed Earth in Taurus. Also, Mars is in Capricorn as we open the year, which is my sign. And this is about disciplined, ambitious action. No games. No games. Okay. So it's still a universal 1 year. So we were right with that. But Jupiter is with Cancer. And it's about building a new secure foundation first. And that does feel right, okay? Because before it just didn't feel right. I'm thinking, what are we talking about? This is a year that does not exist, okay? So let's go back and talk about this for a second. The big themes in through January and March. Let's go through that. In January, Mars in Capricorn conjuncts with Sun and Mercury in Capricorn. And this is about strategic cold action, cold start action, like set your goals with military precision. That's funny it said that because on my mother's dying, like literally on her dying bed, just hours, I think, before her death, she said to me, "You act like a drill sergeant." That's what I'll never forget that as long as I live. You act like a drill sergeant. And that's so Capricorn. You act with military precision, okay? Especially if you have Mars in Capricorn. Jupiter in Cancer trines with this Capricorn stellium. Your ambition, Capricorn, is supported by your emotional intuition in private life. Cancer. It's a powerful, nurturing start to the year. Also, February, the sun moves into Pisces, joining Saturn, and dreams meet deadlines. You must structure your compassion before it becomes chaos. So, Venus in Aquarius squares Jupiter. It doesn't. It does not. But there's tension between innovation in love and friendship, Aquarius, and a need for emotional safety, Cancer. That is not a square, okay? This is why I'm very picky about what I'm reading when I'm reading from AI or bots. Anyway, in March, the new moon in Pisces on March 1st is a major reset with faith in vision. Mars is now in Aquarius, adding fuel to Pluto's revolutionary fire. That's in March. And movements gain momentum. So they're saying in a way that there's going to be more movements. I've been saying that I feel like there's going to be a revolution, but yeah, it's really kind of there. But there is some things going on. It's not a square, it's actually an inconjunct between Aquarius and Cancer. They're in conjunct each other. And so there's this collective fight in Aquarius, and that can feel very threatening to the security of Cancer. So I can see where that can be a problem. So now let's talk again. Oh my gosh, we're getting started. Let's hope this all makes sense this time. So Aries, Jupiter is blessing your fourth house of home. And your 2026 foundation is domestic expression. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe a move, a family addition, or deep emotional healing. January's Mars in your career zone. says climb that mountain. Use the emotional support from home as your fuel. And in March, Mars shifts into your 11th house, which is the house of social community things. The fight is for your community. But there might be some issues with Jupiter, and it might have some, it might deal with group issues versus, say, family core issues. Okay. So Taurus, Uranus is retrograding your sign in 2026. All quarter, this first quarter is your wild card for Taurus. There's an internal revolution going on for some Tauruses. Jupiter is in the third house of Taurus in the sign of Cancer. It expands your mind, your local community, but there's compassion because it's Jupiter. Also, you might be communicating with more passion and compassion. Okay, empathy, maybe the way you write, the way you teach, the way you connect with other people. And then in January, there's this Capricorn stellium in the area of philosophy, or the ninth house. And it asks you to build a practical belief system, something that is stable, like a foundation that you can really believe in. And then in March, it brings Martian energy to your career sector. You fight for your unique role, but be ready for unexpected or Uranus twist. So interesting, right? Okay, so that's interesting. Let's see what it tells Gemini. Gemini, Jupiter is in your second house, which is Cancer. That's your second house. Is your headline, your income, your sense of value. That's where the universe wants to expand you, where you'll be growing. Some Geminis are going to be making a lot of money. So get financially savvy. In January, the focus is on shared resources. That's money that you share with other people, maybe a partner, intimacy, like sex, taxes, whatever your assets are that you have to merge together and strategize together. And then March sees Mars firing up your ninth house of travel. So some Geminis might travel in March. And also your belief system might be affected in March. You'll passionately defend your philosophy, but it may cost you. It may cost you a little bit. So invest in your education, okay? So Cancer, let's talk to Cancers. Cancer, Jupiter is in your sign. This is your year. Like I was talking to Cancer in one of my other videos, how important it is for you, Cancer, to grab a hold of this lucky year. This is your lucky year. Like Jupiter only comes into the sign of Cancer every 12 years. We all get a year, but it only comes around every 12 years. So don't waste this year. It's easy to waste this year. We get comfortable in what we're doing, we get relaxed, and then we just don't push the boundaries. So the first 90 days are about you claiming that expansion, because you can expand now, okay, Cancer, but it's about you being seen, about being more of you, being more confident. In January, though, that Capricorn stellium is opposite you, and it demands that you show up in your partnerships with other people, and that, you know, you bring this new fortified self. It's a negotiation with others. So it's about mixing who you are and with other people. March brings intense transformative Pluto energy into the shared finances and intimacy house, a financial or emotional purge, clear space for your growth. And, you know, whatever you need to let go of to grow, let go of to grow, because it's your Jupiter year, okay, Cancer? So next, let's talk to the sign of Leo. Leo, Jupiter is happening in your 12th house. This is the expansion, or your expansion is private. Your growth is private. It's spiritual. It's behind the scenes. It's what other people can't see, but you might be able to feel. And January is about perfecting your work and your health routines, to get your kingdom in order. So a lot of Leos might be, doing those New Year resolutions, hitting the gym, working out and stuff like that, just getting their health back in order. February and March with the Pisces emphasis, and Mars moving into your opposite sign of Aquarius. Well, again, I'm thinking for you, it's going to be about nurturing partnerships. Your partnerships might become all consuming, like who you're with, your relationship might undergo a revolution. There could be a passionate battle with you and your partner. This could be spiritual work, or maybe this spiritual work is going to be your anchor during that time. Virgo, this Jupiter is happening in your 11th house. And I don't know how we made this all about Jupiter, but I guess because it is a year of Jupiter, it does kind of let us know how luck or expansion or growth is going to affect each of the signs. So Jupiter is going to be in Virgo's 11th house. That's groups and clubs and associations. It's other people, but it's your community, your friends, it's your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. They're all lit up again. Like you've got this hope, like this belief that something good is coming. And in January, creatively and romantically, it's pretty charged. Like something good could happen to Virgo in January. So express yourself, be out there. And in February, it might get a little bit more serious because of your health or work. But just take care of your health, Virgo, and hopefully everything will go okay in February. March, well, it's energizing your daily work and your wellness sector, but let's not forget March also contains Pisces, so that's going to be activating the 7th house of other people and partnerships and others. So I think not only your 6th house may be in early March, but in latter March, then you're going to be looking at more of partnerships and maybe even enemies. But also, it has to align with your hopes and wishes, whatever you do, with Jupiter being in your 11th house. Libra, Jupiter is at the top of your chart in the sign of Cancer. This is your public, it's your professional life, it's your reputation. So nurture your career, put your career first, build your legacy. January is about home and family. It's about foundations. So get that, get secure as you climb the ladder to success. And March brings Mars to your 5th house. The 5th house is the house of taking chances. It's also creativity, romance, but it's luck. And you can take chances when there's Mars in the 5th house, and it can bring you a lot of luck. Also, there's a passion project or love affair that could be ignited. This could create some issues with your professional image. So be careful, especially if you're having like an affair with someone. You don't want to do anything like that, Libra, right? So create boldly, but create wisely. Very wise. Scorpio, Jupiter is in your 9th house of travel, your belief systems, your higher learning, publishing. This whole thing, law, government, justice, that's what Jupiter really covers. And that's going to be where a lot of the emphasis is going to be for Scorpio. Now, January is busy with communication and local projects for you, Scorpio. March is pivotal though, because Mars enters your fourth house, the home and family area, and that squares Jupiter. So you might fight for your home and your family, and you might feel a restless urge to move even. Your belief system is your guide, okay? I would watch out for any kind of philosophical debates or arguments or clashes at home. You just might not see eye to eye on something, so just let it go, you know? So let's move on to Sagittarius. So Saggy, your Jupiter is your ruler, by the way, Sagittarius. So this is really going to affect your growth. I think that it's happening in your eighth house. That is a house of shared resources. That could be your partner's money. It could be any money that you get from another person. And it could also mean transformation and intimacy. The eighth house is that house of deep connection. It's the sex house. It's the death house. It's the money house. It's a deep psychological, financial expansion for you. And in January, the focus is on building your financial income, on building your income, your value, your worth. Because a lot of us, our worth is tied into what we believe we have financially. Like if we don't feel financially secure, then sometimes it affects our worth as a person. Mars comes into your third house in March, and that affects your communication. So your words have a piercing, transformative power. It's a crucial conversation or a document that might need handling. So be really careful about what you're saying, what you sign, what you're writing. Think before you speak. Think before you sign anything on the dotted line, because it impacts your shared resources. So be really careful before you sign anything, really. Let's see, Capricorn. So leaning in, Capricorn, my Capricorn brothers and sisters. Mars in Capricorn, and there's a stellium of planets in our sign in January. Like right now, I think we already have Mars in Capricorn, and we're going to have a lot other, like the sun and Mars and other planets. So this is our command month. Like this is Capricorn ground zero, okay? January is our month, okay? So we're going to lead, we're going to initiate, we're going to start, we're going to command. We are the leader, we are the boss in January. Let it be known. We are here to take that, that prize, that crown, and wear that crown in the month of January. But don't forget that Jupiter is opposite us Capricorns in the sign of Cancer. So our biggest growth comes from our closest one-to-one relationships, the partnerships we're building, the relationships we're building, personal or professional, business or not. It's our relationships that take the focus for the early part of 2026. Your ambitions, Capricorn, have to be tempered with emotional intelligence, because some of us Capricorns, we're so we'll put ambition over everything, including our relationships and our family and stuff like that. So we want to make sure that we're tempering this. We're not putting all the eggs in one basket, that we're spreading things out. Now, March sees Mars moving into the second house of money, of income. So I think some Capricorns will fight for our worth and our value, as we should. Like, don't let anyone downplay your value, Capricorn. Remember how worthy you are and price yourself accordingly. Aquarius. Well, Aquarius for you, Pluto is in your first house. And you are the prototype of the future. This is a multi-year rebirth. A lot of Aquariuses are rebuilding themselves. They're rebirthing, like it's like you're being born all over again. And this is because Pluto is in Aquarius. Your life may not be the same in the next 10 years as it is now. Get used to this change. Jupiter is in your sixth house. That's your health. That's the work that you do. And it'll be there for the first 6 or 90 days. It does bless your daily work routine, whatever you do, your health routine, any kind of service that you provide. So find joy and expansion in the mundane, in the everyday, in getting your things accomplished and providing a service and getting your chores done and things like that. January is a spiritual reset. Things actually restart, reset, and start anew for a lot of Aquariuses in January. Spiritually. March is your moment as Mars moves into Aquarius, and you'll have the energy and you'll have the drive to create whatever personal revolution that you want to push forward. So, if you feel like you don't have a lot of energy, like you're dragging, you might be, because Capricorn's in your 12th house, so you might not feel like you're at your highest. But in March, Mars moves into your sign, Aquarius, and then you're going to be unstoppable. So use all that energy to your benefit because it's coming. And Pisces, Jupiter in your fifth house. This is your fifth house of joy, of creativity, of romance, of children. This is a delicious, playful, and expressive time for you, Pisces. But Saturn is also in your sign all quarter. So it's structured joy. It's not like you feel completely free. You might feel like you have to structure your playtime, discipline your dreams, that type of thing. January focuses on friends and networks. It's about the social push. And February is your personal power month. This is because the sun moves into Pisces at the end of February, and you'll begin to start gaining more and more power. March sees Mars moving into your 12th house, into the sign of Aquarius. So your spiritual drive will start to increase in March, and it'll become more intense. Just make sure you rest, you research, you let your private passion project marinate a little bit. Don't rush into anything. And, don't force what needs to unfold. Let it take its time. Let it marinate. Okay. They call let it cook. Let it cook a little bit. Okay. So there it is, you guys. There it is, your detailed no BS forecast. I even went through to make sure that there was no BS, because I was sensing BS in there, and I went through just to make sure that all the details were just correct for you guys. So this is your no BS forecast. And Jupiter in Cancer asks, what makes you feel safe? What makes you feel nurtured? What makes you feel at home? So build your 2026 on that. Build your 2026 on what makes you feel safe, what makes you feel at home, and makes you feel, loved and nurtured and cared for. The number 1 year energy says that you are the CEO, but even CEOs need a solid home base. So this changes the game, doesn't it? The first 90 days are about ambitious action. That's Mars in Capricorn, rooted in emotional security. Jupiter in Cancer. So drop your sign below. Let me know what your sign is. And tell me how you're feeling about Jupiter in your house. And if you want to navigate these intense Pluto in Aquarius and Jupiter in Cancer transits, these, currents with a personalized map. And if so, I've got you. There's a link below. I'm going to put it below where you can get that from me. And remember that the stars give us the weather. We build the ship, okay? We build the ship. The stars just give us the weather, okay, the forecast, but we build the ship. So remember to build the ship in 2026. Build what you want to grow. I am Adrian, Capricorn Tigress. Have a powerful holiday. Merry Christmas to you. And let's own 2026, okay? Much love to you. Blessings. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. Merry Christmas, you guys. Blessings, everyone.